Namaste everyone. Come to a child's pose, Balasana, with the knees spread wide, big toes touching. Stretch your arms out in front of you and rest your forehead on the mat. Gently bring your awareness to your breath. Deep inhales through the nose, belly expands against the thighs. And long exhalations, the navel draws in. As we find ourselves in uncertain times, where things may not be going as planned, we will dedicate some time in this practice to letting go of expectations and grounding ourselves where we are. If you find your mind wandering throughout the practice, just gently guide your awareness back to your breath, reminding yourself to stay present in this moment. Also remembering now that if you need to return to this pose at any time, feel free to do so, listening to your body. Gently turn your palms to face the sky, feeling a slight open in the shoulders. And rest your palms of your hands against each other, bending the elbows to rest the thumb on the back of the neck. To feel a deeper opening in the shoulders here, you can walk your elbows slightly forwards. And on the exhale, melt your chest towards the mat, keeping the sit bones grounded on the heels. Long inhalations and exhaling to sink that chest lower. Take an exhale to release your palms back to the mat and slowly walk them up to find yourself in a tabletop position. In tabletop, our wrists will be stacked under our shoulders, knees stacked under hips. Spread your fingers wide to protect the wrists. Check back to see you can't see your toes. Legs are in line. The spine is straight, core slightly engaged. The neck is an extension of the spine, so keeping that in line. On an inhale, starting from the sacrum, we're going to round up, opening the chest towards the front. On the exhale, pressing the mat away through the hands, arching that spine, rounding that back. The head is the last to come down. Inhale, starting from the lower back, we open back up, chest towards the front. The head is the last to come, moving through cat and cow here. And exhale to push the mat away even harder this time, as if your navel's trying to reach the spine, spine reaching towards the sky. Moving with the breath, we inhale to open. In Vinyasa, we move with the breath. Exhaling, we're going to press that mat away one more time. Arching through the spine, feeling that nice stretch, like a cat having a big stretch. Inhaling back to center, spine is straight. From here, we're going to open up to the right side, lifting the right arm up towards the sky, opening the chest, gaze toward the thumb. Exhale, thread that right hand through underneath your body and just hover it off the ground there, shoulder and ear hovering. Inhale, open it back up, gazing towards the thumb. Exhale, threading it back through, hovering one more time, shoulder just off the mat. Inhaling to open. Really feeling that twist in the spine now, and exhale, coming through, threading it once again, this time dropping the shoulder, dropping the ear, finding that thread the needle. Breathing deeply here, finding a nice twist to energize us for our practice. And if you want to deepen the twist, feel free to rest that left hand on the sacrum, or even tuck it between the crease of the hip and the thigh bone. Breathing into where you feel the stretch here, sensing a release, a sensation of letting go, releasing any tension. Bringing that left hand back to the mat now if it wasn't there already, and on the inhale we're going to open up to the sky one last time. Exhale, coming back to our tabletop. Check your alignment, fingertips spread wide. We're going to open now to the left side. Inhaling, left arm goes up, gaze toward the thumb. Exhale, threading it through under the body, hovering here. Inhaling to open the chest. exhaling to close, hovering here one more time. Deep, slow, controlled inhale to open. Exhale, threading it back through, this time dropping the shoulder and dropping the ear on the mat, letting it go. Feeling that release here. Again, if you want to deepen the stretch, feel free to rest the right hand this time on the sacrum, or tuck it in the crease between the hip and the thigh, or stay as you are. Connecting to that breath with every exhale, see if you can release a little bit more. Letting go here of what no longer serves you. Letting it go into the mat. And bringing that right hand back to the mat if it's not already there. On an inhale, we're going to open up with that left hand for a final time, gazing toward the thumb. Exhale, planting that palm back down, finding our tabletop, checking your alignment here. And we're going to gently walk our hands forwards, gently towards the top of the mat. Melt that chest down, keeping the hips stacked over the knees, finding our puppy dog pose. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, melt that chest, opening the heart even more towards the mat. Resting the forehead down. This may not be a very deep stretch for you, but just be where you are. Just feel that openness in the front body. Breathing into the front body here, into the heart space. And then slowly walking your hands back up. We're going to sit back onto our heels now. Gently drop to one side, bringing our legs out. Coming into a cross-legged seated position. Making sure both sit bones are firmly grounded, rooting through the sit bones, tilting that pelvis forward slightly, and on an inhale, we're going to raise our arms above our head. Shoulders away from the ears, relaxing down the back, gaze toward the thumbs. Exhaling, we're going to drop the right hand down and stretch over to the right side with the left. On each inhale, we open the chest towards the sky, finding that openness, and every exhale, we deepen a little bit more, finding your point of resistance and holding here. Taking one more exhale here, folding a little deeper and inhaling back to center, gaze toward the thumbs, shoulders relaxed. Exhale, left hand comes down, reaching over the head with the right arm, breathing into that side body, finding that nice sweet stretch in the outer ribs on the right side. And with each inhale, we open the chest towards the sky a little more, and each exhale, reach those right fingertips overhead. Keeping that right hip sit bone grounded. One more exhale. And inhale back to center. Exhaling, the right arm goes back down, left arm overhead. On the inhale here, we're going to open the left hand behind us, stretching out, really opening the chest here. Exhale, bringing it back over the head. Left hand meets the right on the floor. Take an inhale to stretch through the spine, keeping that left sit bone grounded. Exhale, round it down, letting go here, releasing everything through your hands into the ground. Whatever you do not need here, let it go. With each exhale, relax a little more into the stretch. Inhale, coming back to center, raising those arms up. And exhale, the left hand comes down, right arm overhead. Inhale to open the right arm behind you, gazing towards the fingertips, opening up in the chest. Exhale, right arm overhead, comes to meet the left on the floor. Take an inhale to lengthen that spine. Exhale, rounding down, letting go, release the neck. Feeling where you're connected to the mat and the ground beneath you. Grounding yourself here for a moment, rooting through that right sit bone. One more exhale to release and inhaling up to center. We're going to take a twist from here, turning to the right hand behind you, left arm gently on the right knee. Take one inhale to lengthen through that spine even more, rooting through the seat, and exhale to twist gently, finding that nice energizing twist in the spine. The neck can be part of the twist or resting neutral. Inhaling back to center, and we're going to turn to the left side, left hand behind you, right hand on the knee. Inhale, finding length here, sitting nice and tall. Exhale, twisting. The neck can be held evenly or added to the twist. Try not to strain it, whatever feels more natural for you. One more exhale to twist a little bit more, and inhaling back to center. Exhale, bring your palms down onto the knees. And we're going to roll forwards back into our tabletop position, rolling over the knees, tucking the toes this time, hands shoulder distance apart, lifting the hip bones up towards the sky. Finding our first downward facing dog. Hands shoulder width apart, fingers spread nice and wide, pressing between the index finger and the thumb of each hand. Hip bones towards the sky, heels yearning for the floor, feet hip distance apart, drawing your shoulder blades in against your back ribs and spiral them out away from your spine. Find a sense of steadiness and ease here, equal balance between the hands and the feet. Feel free to pedal the feet out if it feels good for you. Reconnecting to your breath, we're going to come up onto the toes, and with an exhale, drop the heels to the left side, bending the knees, feeling that sweet stretch all the way through the right hand side. Inhaling back to center, and exhale, dropping the heels to the right side, bending those knees, stretching through the left side body. Inhale, coming back to center, dropping the heels back towards the mat. Gazing between the palms now, and step, hop, or jump your feet between your hands. Inhale, we're going to halfway lift, spine is nice and straight. Exhale, folding forwards from the hips. And taking a big inhale to come all the way up. Arms overhead, gaze toward the thumb, stretching through the fingertips. And exhale, release, finding our Tadasana. Tadasana, you can have your toes, big toes touching your feet slightly apart. Raise all your toes off the mat and slowly ground them back down one by one. Equal balance between all four corners of the feet. Really rooting down here, engaging the kneecaps. Feel as though your feet are sucking the mat up into you. Lifting the kneecaps, engaging the quads, slightly tuck the pelvis forwards, chest shining towards the sky. We're going to move through a round of Surya Namaskar A. Rolling the shoulders back and down, taking a big inhale. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, reaching your arms overhead, keeping the spine straight. Exhale, folding from the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, spine is straight. Exhale, plant your palms, step, hop, or jump back to high plank. Moving through our chaturanga, elbows in towards the body, one line of energy from the heels of the feet to the crown of the head. Inhale, rolling forwards, finding our upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale to roll over the toes, coming back to our Adho Mukha Svanasana, our downward facing dog. Checking our alignment once again. We're going to roll forwards now into a high plank, and we're going to go through a modification or variation of this vinyasa. So we're going to drop the knees, not coming through knees, chest, chin, keeping one straight line of energy, bending the elbows, drawing them into the body, slowly lowering down all the way to the mat. Inhale, we're gonna roll forwards, coming into our cobra. Exhale, pressing the palms, lifting the hips, tucking the toes, coming into our downward facing dog. So this is an option you can take for any vinyasa, or if you ever feel like skipping the vinyasa, coming straight to downward dog or child's pose. Listen to your body, do whatever feels right on each time for you. Connecting with that breath once again, gaze between the palms, step, hop or jump forwards on the inhale, opening up, keeping the spine straight. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, coming all the way up, gaze toward the thumbs. Exhale, Samastitihi, finding our Tadasana once again. Palms facing the front, fingertips stretching out. Feel free to rest one hand on your chest and belly whilst you catch your breath. We're going to move through a modification, variation of Surya B. So exhale, palms together. Now inhale, arms above the head. Exhale, folding from the hips. Inhale to open, halfway lift, spine is straight. Exhale, plant the palms, step, hop or jump back, moving through your option of vinyasa. So chaturanga or knees chaturanga. Bending down on the exhale, inhale to roll forwards, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana or Bhujangasana. Coming back on the exhale to our down dog. On the next inhale, we're going to raise our right leg towards the sky, keeping our shoulders in line with the mat, keeping our hips straight and in line. Exhale, rounding through the spine, bending the knee, coming forwards to meet the nose and gently, quietly stepping it on the mat between the palms. Inhale to open to high lunge. Making sure your hip bones are shining forwards, front right knee stacked over the left ankle. Exhale, planting the palms, framing the front foot, step back to our plank. Move through your vinyasa, dropping the knees if you need to. Chaturanga, elbows into body. Inhale to open up, finding your back bend. Exhale, planting the palms, rolling over the toes, hip bones towards the sky. Adho Mukha Svanasana. On our next inhale, raising the left leg up, shoulders are in line, parallel to the mat. Exhale, drawing that knee to the nose, engaging the core, stepping between the palms, inhaling to open up to our high lunge. Hip bones are both shining towards the front, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, palms to the mat, stepping back, high plank once again, moving through that vinyasa, so bending the elbows, coming down, chaturanga, open up, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Roll over the toes, back to our downward facing dog. Take a moment to connect to the breath here, feeling any warmth running through the body. We're going to gaze between our palms, step, hop or jump, feet in between the hands. Inhale to open the chest, halfway lift. Exhale, folding here. Inhaling to rise all the way up, bending the knees if you need to. Gaze toward the thumbs and exhale, palms together. Take a moment to breathe here in your Tadasana, noticing any changes in the body, any warmth. If you're feeling any looser, feeling any more grounded. We've just got one more standing flow to move through. We're almost done. Remember that smile asana. Here we go, taking a deep inhale, exhale, palms together. Inhale, gaze toward the thumbs, arms overhead. Exhale, palms to the floor. Inhale, opening up, halfway lift. Exhale, step, hop, jump back. Finding your vinyasa, chaturanga. Inhale to open up. Exhale, rolling over the toes, back to our downward facing dog. Fingers spread nice and wide to protect the wrists. Inhale, open that right leg up. Exhale, draw it in. Plant the feet between the hands. Inhale to come up. Moving a little faster here. Stepping that left heel to the floor. Opening up the hips to the side. Coming into our Virabhadrasana 2. Pressing firmly through the back of the left foot into the mat. Right knee is stacked, arms shoulder level. Take an exhale and reach forwards. Inhale, bring it back. Right arm overhead, coming into reverse warrior. Keeping that right knee stacked over the right ankle. Finding that side body stretch again. Exhale, windmill the hands down. Plant them either side of the foot. Stepping back to our high plank and moving through that vinyasa. Exhale, coming down, bending the elbows. Inhale, opening up, finding our back bend. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Moving quickly now, we're going to inhale, raise the left leg, shoulder square. Exhale, bring that knee through, stepping the left foot between the hands, inhaling to open up. Exhale, dropping that right heel, opening the hips, pressing through the back outer of the right foot. Shoulders away from the ears. Exhale to reach forwards and inhale, swooping that left arm overhead, finding that sweet stretch in the side body, finding our reverse warrior. And exhale, windmilling the hands down, framing the front foot, stepping back to our last and final vinyasa. Exhale to bend the elbows, chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, roll over the toes, coming back to our downward facing dog. Take a moment to catch your breath here, reminding your body to breathe deeply into the belly. If you feel like you need to, you can drop the hips back onto the heels and come into a Balasana, child's pose. Really take a moment to notice how your body's feeling. And now pressing the palms, we're all going to meet back in downward facing dog. Jumping those feet between the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, folding forwards. Last time doing this. Inhale, opening up, arms overhead. Exhale, Samasthiti Tadasana. Feel proud of yourself for getting through those. We're going to open up. We're going to plant our left foot now firmly into the mat. Hands on hips, bringing our right knee out in front of us. Act as though roots are growing through the sole of that left foot, really grounding you into this position. And on an exhale, opening the knee out to the side, opening the hip. Taking the sole of the foot and placing it either on the heel, calf, or if you can reach above the knee, on the inner thigh, placing it there. Find your balance here, find your stability, rooting through that grounded foot. Making sure your hips are nice and open, shoulders are square. Imagine as though a thread is pulling you up through the crown of the head, keeping you nice and tall. Feel free to plant your hands together, palms of your hands, sealing the energy in. Finding your drishti, staring to one point in front of you to keep your balance. And breathing here. Release, bring that knee back in front of you and drop your foot down to the mat. Shake it out and take a moment to see if you're feeling any different in each side. Maybe one side's feeling more grounded. Checking in with the breath, planting the right foot down this time, bringing the left knee out in front of you. On the exhale, opening it to the side and then planting that left sole of the foot on the ankle, calf, or inner thigh above the knee, never on the knee. Imagine those roots growing through, grounding you fully into the earth, into the mat, finding your stability. You can bring those hands back together, sealing that energy in. That thread is back, pulling you nice and tall through the spine. Finding your drishti again, gazing to one spot in front of you. And release the hands. Bring the left knee back to center this time, dropping it down. Finding Tadasana once again. Noticing any changes now. And stepping your feet out to mat width apart, 45-degree angle pointing outwards. Bending the knees, coming down into our Malasana, our yogi squat. Palms together, pressing the elbows against the knees against the elbows, trying to get those heels towards the mat. If you need to place a block or a thick book under your seat to help you stay here, that's fine. We're not staying for long. Opening up through the chest and breathe. Gently plant your hands back down and heel toe your feet to hip width apart. Taking hold of the opposite elbow with each hand. We're going to release here, finding our ragdoll. This is a moment to really let go after all of those sun salutations and dancing warrior. Bend the knees if it feels good. Feel free to swing from side to side, really sending your energy where you need it. Just letting everything that no longer serves you flood out into the mat beneath you. Let go of anything you don't need. Plant your palms back into the mat now. Take an inhale to elongate the spine and gently on an exhale come to a seated position. Legs stretched out in front of you, finding our Dandasana. Rooting firmly through the sit bones. Internally rotate the thighs by engaging the adductors. Toes are pointing towards the face, feet are flexed. Spine is long and straight. We're going to take an inhale here, raise our arms above our head. Keeping this posture, keeping this foundation. Exhale, bend slightly forwards, reaching your hands out in front of you as if something you really want to take hold of is just up and in front of you. Reaching through the fingertips at something you really want to touch. Inhale here, exhale, reaching out again, a little lower this time. Reaching as far as you can, feeling that length in the spine. Inhale here and exhale, a little lower this time, reaching those fingertips out in front of you, hovering just above the feet. One more inhale to lengthen, exhale, release your hands to your shins, ankles, or you can wrap your peace fingers around your big toes. Elbows coming outwards. We're going to fold forwards here. Gazing towards the toes. Finding that edge, playing with your edge, not straining too hard. We don't need to move too far, too fast. If we move too quickly, our body can go into shock to protect the muscles from straining. So we move slowly with the breath. Each inhale we lengthen and exhale we deepen. Finding that balance between comfort and difficulty. Seeing what else you can let go of here. Letting go of any expectations of how you think this posture should look. And slowly we're going to come back up. Bending your right knee now, bringing the sole of the right foot to meet the inner left thigh. Moving into our Janushirasana. Raising your arms above the head on the inhale. Exhale, twisting to the left side. And exhale, releasing down. Reaching for that left shin, ankle, or foot. Taking an inhale to lengthen through the spine once again. And exhale, the elbows come out to the side. Gaze toward the toes. Engaging that quadricep on the left leg to release the hamstrings more. Finding your edge once again. One more exhale to release fully, and inhale, we will slowly rise back up. Bringing that right knee in, stretching it out, having a little shake here. Bending the left leg now, bringing that left sole of the foot to meet the right inner thigh. Right foot is flexed. Inhale, arms above the head. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to fold over the right leg. The elbows are coming out to the side. With each inhale we lengthen, and each exhale we see if we can play with going a little bit deeper. Remembering not to judge yourself. We're not pushing ourselves too hard here. finding compassion for yourself, removing the suffering from this pose. And we're going to inhale, coming back up, drawing that right knee in, shake the legs out. Drawing both soles of the feet to meet now. We're going to come into our Baddha Konasana, actually moving the heels slightly away from the body. We're going to feel this pose in the lower back, but also in the outer hips. So inhale to lengthen the spine, and on the exhale, leading with the chest, bending from the hips, we're going to come forward slightly. You may not move very much. That's completely fine. Remembering that gratitude for where your body is in this present moment. Not beating yourself up over any expectations of how you think this should be. Just really feeling the pose, feeling the effects on your body. Moving with the breath. If you can try on the next exhale to release a little bit more. If it feels good to drop the head, feeling a stretch in the upper back and neck, feel free to do so. This is your practice. Move how you need to move. We store a lot of emotions in our hips, so allow your body to feel what it needs to feel in this posture. Taking another deep breath in, and with this exhale, seeing if you can just let go of a little bit more tension, a little bit more final exhale here. And we're very, very slowly gonna rise back up, moving slowly so as not to shock the spine. And when you're ready, using your hands to bring your knees back together, drawing that energy back inwards. Just take a moment to breathe and feel the sensations running through the body. We're going to walk our feet slightly away, knees pointed towards the sky, hands behind us, coming into a counter here. So pressing the palms and the feet. On an exhale, raising the hips towards the sky, coming into our reverse tabletop, dropping the head back if it feels good, reaching those hip bones towards the sky, and exhale, release it down. Crossing the legs and rolling over back into our tabletop position. We're going to step into a high plank, heels reaching towards the back of the mat, shoulders stacked over wrists. We're going to bring our right foot to the outside of our right hand, dropping the left knee, untucking the left toe. Chest is open towards the front, finding our high lizard. Feeling that nice stretch in the left hip flexor and the right outer hip. If it feels good for you to stay here, or you're welcome to drop your elbows, coming down, relaxing that neck, finding that stretch again. Finding that sense of compassion once more, trying to let go of any emotions or fight you have, any resistance against this pose. Removing the suffering, expressing the gratitude for where your body is, keeping that knee stacked over the right ankle, right knee over right ankle. And we're going to slowly come back up now, tucking that left toe, bringing the right leg back, coming into our downward facing dog. Finding our alignment here, getting the hips back in line. Exhale, rolling over into our high plank again. And this time stepping the left foot to the outer side of the left hand. Dropping the right knee, untucking the right toe, inhaling to open the chest. Again, if it feels good to you, you can drop your elbows down, dropping the head down, fully surrendering here. Fully letting go of any tension, scanning where you're feeling the tension, where you're feeling the stretch, and sending your breath there, sending your breath to ease any sensations. One more deep inhale here and exhale. See if you can let go a little bit more. Relaxing into that point between effort and relaxation. Stepping back now, finding our downward dog again. Pedal out your feet a little bit, realign those hips. And gently drop the knees, drop the sit bones onto the heels, come back into our child's pose, our balasana, our familiar place. Reconnecting to the breath, noticing here if the body feels any different to how it did when we were last in this pose. Back towards the beginning of our practice. Maybe you're feeling more grounded now, more connected to the earth, more relaxed. We're going to slowly walk up here, coming towards the cooling down part of our practice. Swing your legs round out in front of you, finding a supine position, knees bent towards the sky. Relaxing here for a moment, and then we're going to straighten our legs up in front of us, finding a waterfall position. Keeping that lower back grounded, flexing the feet towards the face. Knees are nice and straight. Feeling where your back is in contact with the mat and allowing any stress to wash from the soles of the feet down into the mat. If it's in your practice here, feel free to come over into plow pose, lifting the spine off the mat. Hips are coming up, feet resting over behind you. Remember not to turn your head once you're in this position, and if you're feeling any discomfort in the neck or head, come back down to waterfall. The weight here should be in the shoulders. This is a very deeply relaxing inversion. Really let it go here. Release everything. Keeping that breath slow and controlled so as to keep the body relaxed. Closing the eyes if it feels good to fully let go. Let everything flow into the ground and slowly, slowly coming back to waterfall, bending the knees, resting them on the mat. Gently windscreen wiper the legs from side to side, realigning the spine. And coming again to stillness. I'm going to stretch the left leg out nice and long here, hugging the right knee in tight, bending that right knee, and gently dropping the right knee over to the left side, coming into our nice twist here. Stretching the arms out at shoulder level. If you want to deepen the stretch, you can press that right knee with the left hand. But the aim is more to have the shoulder in contact with the floor. Breathing deeply here. This is our yin part of the practice, so feel free to just let go and relax. We don't need any resistance here. Gazing towards the right fingertips if it feels good. And gently coming back to center, hugging that right knee in again, releasing the right leg down and bending the left knee in to hug it this time. Dropping the left knee over to the right side, bringing the arms out wide at shoulder level, gaze towards the left fingertips. Again, if you want to deepen the twist, rest the right hand on the left knee this time. Breathing into where you feel the sensations, sending the breath to where you feel the stretch for even deeper relaxation. Nice controlled breaths, deep inhales and exhales. See if you can let go of any more tension throughout the body. slowly we're going to come back to center, releasing that left leg down. From here we're going to bend our knees, bringing them out to the outsides of the ribs, holding on to the outer feet with the hands and gently pulling the knees towards the mat, finding our happy baby, keeping that lower back on the ground, rooting through the lower back here. Feel free to rock from side to side if it feels right. As the baby does, just do whatever feels good to you, massaging that lower spine here. Before coming into our final posture, our Savasana, this is your time to do whatever movements feel right to you. If you want to stretch the legs out, if you want to wiggle them around, just take a moment to do what your body is left needing. And then we're all going to hug our knees in nice and tight, bringing the nose to the knees. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze everything into a tiny little ball. Take one last inhale and exhale, releasing down for Savasana. Allowing the feet to be nice and wide, feet falling out to the side. Arms nice and wide. Seeing if you can wiggle your shoulders a little further away from the ears. And scanning the body here for any remaining tension and sending your breath there to fully let everything go. Allowing any tension from the forehead to melt away into the mat beneath you. Eyes gently fluttered closed. Noticing where your spine is in contact with the mat and where it comes off the mat. Allowing the hips to feel heavy, the legs to feel heavy, the feet to fall out to the side. Sending a full wave of relaxation from the crown of the head, flushing all the way through the body, getting rid of any final bits of stress, any tension, flushing it all out through the soles of the feet. Fully relax here, fully surrender. You're welcome to stay in your Shavasana as long as you feel, but if you're moving with me, gently bring your awareness back to your breath. Introduce some gentle movements to the fingertips and the toes. And if it feels like you want to, bring your arms overhead, interlacing the fingers, and give yourself a nice full body stretch, stretching through the fingertips, through the toes, all the way along the spine like you've just woken up. And release. Bending the knees and rolling over to the right side. Resting your head on your right hand, coming into the fetal position. Left hand touches the earth as if being reborn into this crazy world with a new perspective. Giving your body a little bit of love here. I'm going to press up, keeping the eyes closed and coming back to a seated position. Gently bring your palms to meet, resting the thumbs against the sternum, gently bowing the head towards them in gratitude to yourself for being here, for joining this practice, for giving yourself this time. Now slowly walk your hands out in front of you, coming all the way down to wherever feels good, pressing your palms into the earth, thanking the earth for carrying you through your life, thanking this world we live on for giving us what we have, remembering to feel grateful for what you do have in these times. And slowly, when you're ready, walking your hands back up. Gently fluttering the eyes open. Namaste, everybody. You look so happy. Thank you.